Hey there, Daniel de Groot here from Martial Arts on Rails. A lot of instructors will use this time to re-evaluate their curriculum. A lot of them will focus on techniques, but one aspect that's often overlooked are the warm-ups. In this video I want to explain to you guys why warm-ups are important, how you should structure a warm-up, and what other benefits you can reach besides warming up your students. I will combine images of me talking with some video I shot of myself doing warm-up movements. It wasn't possible to film my own group doing warm-ups because of the pandemic, but hopefully these short videos will give you an idea of what a good warm-up should look like. Before we go into that, it's important to discuss why we should do warm-ups at all. Warm-up exercises are essential to efficient body coordination, minimization of injuries, and top-level competitive performance, according to judo training methods. If you want to read all the science behind why you should do warm-ups, make sure to read our blog post about this topic. It's in the description below, and we got all the science there why you should do warm-up, but that's the benefits in short. When structuring a warm-up, one of the most common methods is the ramp method. It was invented by Ian Jeffries, and it consists of a raise phase, the activation and mobilize phase, and the potentiation phase. In the raise phase, we want to raise the body temperature, the heart rate, respiration rate, blood flow, and joint fluid viscosity. This phase is probably the easiest to accomplish. Just do 20 burpees right now and tell me that you're not breathing heavy and your heart rate didn't go up. It's very easy. A lot of coaches do this by making their students run laps, do jumping jacks, or do burpees. Of course, these have a place in the warm-up, but when you're setting up this phase, I'm always looking for additional benefits. So I might do some solo drills, hip escapes, front rolls, that kind of stuff, to also work some extra skills, especially for the beginning students, and not just do the simple act of raising the heart rate. And now that you're warm, it's time to activate the most important muscle groups and mobilize the key joints that you will be using during your practice. One of my favorite ways is to use a yoga for BJJ warm-up sequence. They get you activated and mobile very specifically for Jiu-Jitsu. Some of the other exercises you can use to activate your most important muscle groups are hip bridges, judo push-ups, neck exercises, and partner rows. More mobility-focused exercises would be shoulder circles, bodyweight squats, lunges, cat-cows, dynamic 1990 hip stretches, and these should all be done dynamically, so no static stretching. If you want to find out more, again, read the blog. We got all the scientific literature right there. Now for the potentiation phase. Now it's time to get a little bit more specific. This is usually where I would do technical drills like passing drills, takedown drills, sweep drills, submission drills. You can get really close to your sport right here. This would also be the time to implement the speed drills, which we'll go into a little bit later in the video. Okay, so now for the extra benefits you should reach with warm-ups. Doing a warm-up is quite easy. Everybody can get a heart rate up. Like I said, just do 20 burpees and you'll be relatively warm. But whenever I'm setting up my own warm-up for my students, I want some additional benefits. So the 5 additional benefits I look for in warm-ups, not all at the same time, but every warm-up I want to take off some of these extra benefits. They are flexibility, strength, technique, speed, and team spirit. So now let's take a look how we can apply these benefits into our ramp structured warm-up. So if I want to improve the flexibility of my students, I will usually do this during the mobilization phase. I will put some extra time on the dynamic stretches. The areas I focus most on with my students are the hips, shoulders, and back. I like to use some hip bridges because they stretch your hips, they strengthen your glutes, and they also stretch your back a little bit. So that's one of my favorite exercises for this phase. If you want to improve your students' strength, you should focus on the activation phase. Put some focus on, again, the bridges, some squat variations. I really like pistol squats. You can use like the momentum like I show here to make it a little bit easier. Some core work, some net work. They're all very important for the Jiu-Jitsu and they can get your students strong. One important note here to make is that I know a lot of, especially like full-time athletes, they do extra weight training as well. So going to Jiu-Jitsu, they want to learn Jiu-Jitsu. But for the majority of Jiu-Jitsu practitioners, the Jiu-Jitsu class is their only training. So they won't go to the gym and they get all their workouts during Jiu-Jitsu. So it's important for them to work on some extra strength as well. As a coach, it's your job to find a good balance. So you don't want to be a strength and conditioning coach, but you also want to help your regular practitioners to get some extra strength work in during the warm-ups. If you want to improve your students' technique, again, you can use the solo drills during the race phase, but also focus some more time on the technical drills during the potentiation phase. So more drills, more takedowns, more sweeps, more passes. You can spend a little bit more time on that. For speed, there's two drills I really like to do. The race to the belt and the race to the top. The race to the belt was made popular by Marcelo Garcia. You split your students, so everybody's standing opposite of another student, so there's couples that are gonna race each other. They put a belt in the middle of the mat and they will race each other to the belt. Whoever gets the belt first wins, and you can even make the loser do push-ups. Usually losing is enough, but if you wanna up the ante, you can punish the loser. The variations are endless. You can start facing each other, you can start facing the wall, you can start sitting down, lying down. There's a lot of variations you can start from to work on that reaction speed and to get your students warm. The other variation of this that I really like is the race to the top. Here you will both lie down. Your hips will be on the same line, so my feet are facing that way, my partner's feet are facing the other way, and our goal is to get up first. You can, again, there's a lot of variations. You can hold each other's near side sleeve, far side sleeve, pant leg, lots of variations that keep it very fun and gives it a lot of variety. The final benefit I want to improve with my warm-ups is team spirit. You can do this doing partner drills. You'll force your students to work together, so maybe partner shrimps across the mat, maybe partner rows where you pull yourself and your partner's pant leg across the mat. This will force your students to work together and helps build the team spirit. One of the most fun ways to build your team spirit is relay races. This was shown to me by Bradley Hill, and it's one of the most fun ways to warm up. Basically, you divide your students in two equal groups, and they do partner drills across the mat and back, and in a relay race format. So if you want to find out exactly how to set up this warm-up, make sure again to read our blog post. Everything is in that. We got more details, and we got all the science behind the warm-up as well. So make sure to check it out. The link is in the description below. Now let's put it all together. So just to give you some perspective, warm-ups are really just that, warm-ups. Of course, it's nice if you can reach some extra benefits, but the main goal of warming up is warming up for the practice or for the competition. So you don't want to spend too much time. I usually spend between 10 to 20% of the training on warm-ups. Some other factors you need to keep in mind. The shorter the class, the shorter the warm-up. The younger the students, the more fun a warm-up should be. The higher the level of the students, the higher the technical level of the warm-up can be. And the higher the energy of the group, the tougher the warm-up can be. So there's a lot of factors to keep in mind when you're doing a warm-up. You can't just have the same warm-up ready for every single training. You always want to feel the energy of the group, see who's there, and in that way structure your warm-up to be a good fit for the people that are in your class. So I hope this video helped. If you like it, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to our channel. Please let us know in the comment what your favorite warm-ups look like. And again, if you want to read all the science behind the warm-ups, if you want to get some more details on these structures and these warm-up techniques that we use, make sure to check our blog article. It's in the description below. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.